All right, update number 4. As you can see, we got no engine. Nothing. It's empty. Nada. The reason it's out of here, just to make a little bit of room, as the eBay headers that I had aren't going to work in my situation. Guys that are just building like turbo cars and don't care about air conditioning and all that stuff, it'll work perfect. It's probably the easiest thing to do if you were to get the generic eBay headers, the forward-facing turbo ones, because it will make your life simpler on getting a header set up. They fit. As you can see in this video, they fit great. If you were to get rid of that box where the evaporator's at and run them, they'll fit. And then of course, like I said in my last video, if you get the 7-inch brake booster, and then you don't even actually have to have that adapter. I just put it in there just to make it a little bit quicker. Otherwise, actually on these cars, they actually have the bolt holes in the back plate back here to do the 4-bolt system. This is a 2 to 4. So you actually don't need this piece. You can actually just drill through and they actually have the holes perforated in there. And then the vehicle cylinder, a reservoir from 3800 Series 2, like I think it's like 97 and 2004. Pretty much Grand Prix, Buick Regals, anything with 3800, that style, the W body cars, Monte Carlos, that's what they use. So anyways, not that, but yeah, the engine's out, and it's actually over there. I'll kind of go over that here in a second. But I got the intercooler in, so you can see it there. I got it hanging up. It's actually the lowest I'd have it. You can actually raise it up a little bit, so I have it at the lowest so I can adjust it. But I get a detail. So you can see it kind of sticks out, front bumper. The front bumper actually goes down a little bit further than this crash bar is. And not only that, but the air dam even goes down further. So that is where the air inlet would be. The front bumper, it actually comes right here, and then you have this flap that goes like this. It contours up. So the bumper actually hangs down low, and then it comes up, and then it hits the intercooler. Then the air dam comes out on here. There's actually a big mouth kit that you can put that's like a big sheet metal box that'll kind of solidify this area. I might consider getting that. Other than that, I might just leave it too, especially how it looks. I kind of want to make it look hidden, so if the big mouth will hide it a little bit, and people are just like, oh, you put a sheet metal box in there for air, that's different. But other than that, I'm actually going to cut this section out of here and give it a little bit more air, because even though it will scoop up, you still have, you know, about a third of it hidden. And then this crash bar I'll cut out, and then on here I'll cut this out and actually make a cover that has a screen on it, so you can get the air, more air in. So I'll not only have this piece down here that I get the air in, but I'll also have this up here getting air in, because these cars do not get air movement very well in them. So anything you can do helps. And then I'll just find a different place to put the license plate, maybe just like a flip up deal under here, where in Minnesota we have to have them. But if I put it down here where I can flip it up when I'm going down the road or whatever, even see if they make like a motor mechanism to where I can actually put like a switch in the car and brings it up. But we'll see. I do need to cut this out, so I'm gonna have to try to find a place for the license plate. Not gonna put it in the window. That shit's dumb as shit. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just put it underneath the bumper somewhere. I might actually put it like right here. It would actually be good, because I need form to the car. And if I actually need it, completely need it out, especially driving, bring it up where, I'm driving down the road, it's gonna have enough air through it, and then when I'm just chilling, maybe bring it back down. So we'll figure it out, but I definitely do need to open that up if I want to get some cold air in or more. I also brought the engine out because I thought this is all ABS stuff. It's actually not. This is the vacuum line to run the actuators inside for the air conditioning and heater stuff. So that's not a big deal. But I think about 6 or 7 of these wires run to the controller for the AC blower and voice crack, AC blower and the heater. So I need to figure out which is which and then wire those in. And then the rest of these, I'm pretty sure they're like injector bullshit that runs to the body control on there. Or I forgot what they call it. It's something completely different, but a lot of that stuff is not needed. But I need to go through the diagram. This is actually like a glued grommet. So unlike this piece down here where it'll tell you what each pin does, there are no pins. There's literally, if you take that out, it's just a bunch of glue that holds that stuff together to keep it weatherproof. So there is no diagram for that. So you have to take, go on the diagrams to figure out what goes through the firewall through the grommet, and then color code it, and then test it to make sure you know what's what. So that'll take me a few hours, but we'll figure it out and take care of that. I already showed you the intercooler. Radiator is pretty much done. I made these mounts on this Dodge Stratus fans hooked up to this S10 radiator. It just clamps up here, mounts that, and then down there you can see the other one that mounts that, and then that mounts it to the body. I just made these little stops here on both sides, and not going anywhere. So those are good, and I have plenty of room for the condenser for the AC, and I think I'm just going to run like a Blazer one because it's the same size as that radiator. Nice thing about that radiator is I have plenty of room to work with. If it doesn't cool the car good enough, GM also has a 2-row. This is a single row. GM has a 2-row of that, and I can find the part number. And if that doesn't work, I may not even try the 2-row. There's a lot of aftermarket 3-row ones because they are putting a lot of hot rods and stuff. So I can get a 3-row version. It'll fit right where that's at. I can put the fans right back on, and it'll work. So I'm going to try the 1-row that comes on all the 4.3 Blazers other than the HD radiator that comes on them. But yeah, so as you see, like I said, the engine's out. So engine's out because of the headers. I had to make some new ones, and I went with some generic 5.3 Trailblazer ones. They're the same ones that come on the Trailblazer SS's, just flipped, and then I welded V-bands on them. So you can see they're welded on. Some flux core welding skills and heat treatment. Heated the shit out of them, welded them, and then blanketed them for about 3 hours to keep the heat in, and everything's good. So that's all set up. So I'll get this back in the car, get the hot side built up. I have the tensioner pulley from ICT coming. That should be here tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm in the office this week. I've been alternating every other week because of this whole COVID stuff. But we'll be in the office a week, so there won't be much done throughout the week on it. It might be a more weekend project, or next week I might take a little bit of time off to do some yard work, and then also maybe just do this if I have some free time after the yard work. But once I get that on, run my pulley, then I can build my hot side, and I have my flanges here for it. I was like, where's my other one? Yeah, both my flanges here, mild steel, so I'll route those and then get those turbos mocked up. So I'm kind of taking a couple steps backwards, but this is going to save me a lot of headaches. It's going to be a little bit more work, but it's going to save me a lot of headaches to make the AC system work, because then I can at least get the evaporator in and have AC, because this is going to be a street ship car. I want AC, I want heat. I want everything. You know, they always say you can't have everything. You can't have everything. I'm going to try my best to get everything. So that's why that's out. And then I had the Gen 4 water pump on, and there's no way it's going to work. So this is the Gen 3 truck pump, and then that bracket, so everything fits. I had to cut the cruise control knob off, so I'll find something else to work. I might do something here, or what I could do is underneath this bracket I could probably do something, or on the back side of this do something. And then there's a write-up on how to get the Blazer cruise control module all wired up. A lot of guys do it in like their hot rods and their old Chevy trucks and stuff, so I'll do that. Even though this came with the cruise control, it was all tied into that ASR system that does the ABS and the actual throttle, so that's all been eliminated. So, and it was heavier than hell versus just like a small module box for like a Blazer. So I'll do that and then mount it somewhere in the car, and then run my cabling through there. So that'll take care of my cruise control, because I'm gonna have cruise control in this car too. This is, like I said, it's gonna be a street strip car, and I want it to have the amenities. I want to be able to thrash shit out of this. Now, I have been thinking about doing something, and I don't know how this is gonna work. I want to get some opinions on people that have done this, or not done this, but have taken their cars to the track and have run air to water intercoolers or anything to cool the engine. So this radiator is from, like I said, it's from a Blazer. It's got the transmission coolers, or it's got a transmission cooler on that side, and that's an oil cooler to the engine oil on that side. I actually had fittings. I missed when I was building my Firebird. I got the wrong fittings, and I kept them, and they actually fit this radiator. So those are AN6 fittings which I may run to the transmission cooler as well. I did this on my Trailblazer SS. I would run from the transmission to this, and then out to an auxiliary cooler back to the transmission. So not only was the radiator getting up to temperature, but then you have the auxiliary cooler keeping it cool as well. This side, I can either plug them, and I might still plug them when I'm not using them, but I was thinking that these are way bigger. These are almost like almost a 3/4 inch or something like that. They're much bigger than the transmission side. I was thinking of doing like an and fitting in here with the flare inside, and then maybe possibly running lines to this spot in here and doing like an aluminum water bath in here for like ice water. And then if I take it to the track, I can actually flip on like a bilge pump and then have that cold water circulate through the radiator and getting the water cool to run through the engine. Now I know it's not like running directly to like an intercooler, but the fact that I can cool the radiator down with that small section, it's just something where just trying to cool it down a little bit, because it's not going to be happening a lot, to where I can just, like I said, just throw some ice water in there and then cool that radiator to get the cold water flowing through the radiator into the engine. It's just a thought. If that's like this, it's not, the core's not big enough for that, then I'm just like, screw it, I'm just going to cap it and not worry about it. But it just kind of ran through my head. I might try it. If others have done it before, they maybe chime in, let me know. But on that's where I'm at right now. I'm waiting on a couple other parts. I need to get my wastegates too, because as I start fabbing this stuff up, I'm going to need my wastegates as well to get that done. And I'm actually going to pipe them back into the exhaust, because like I said, I'm running the stock exhaust on here. Both the mufflers are like that. And I'm actually going to, let me see it, I'm going to cut that out and do a straight pipe. The reason I'm doing that is because the turbos should muffle it, a good decent chunk. And then also have my mufflers in the back, my exhaust. So it might be the same sounding, might just be a little bit louder, but most people would think it's stock. So that's where I'm at right now. Hopefully I can make an update here in the next few weeks. Like I said, this is a long process. This isn't something I'm working on every single day. If I get it like an hour or two within the week, I just put a little bit of time. If not, it's not a big deal. So that's the update. Let me guys know what you think. Talk to you later.